Hi, I'm Michelle, and today I will be presenting part one of my meta-reflection from my FSL portfolio section 4. I have structured my vlog of the first part of my meta-reflection around 5 questions provided in the module handbook in response to my time on FSL and how it has impacted my learning and professional development for facilitating teaching and learning at higher education. So question 1, how does your practice take cognizance of seminal theoretical perspectives and/or current trends in higher education? The FSL module brought me into focus on what my teaching values are. Being a constructivist researcher prior to becoming a teacher, it was interesting to discover that Buchan's heteroglossia learning concept resonated with my way of learning, and now it is a key inspiration of my teaching values. The concept reflects on a need to combine multiple perspectives from various individuals, which can be useful for individuals who may need extra support or influence to guide or shape their learning and assessment outcomes, particularly for ones that aim to call learners' attention on creativity and intuition. My modules, particularly in digital marketing, attract multi-program students from a range of different backgrounds, some of which who don't have marketing experience, and many come from education structures whereby creativity may be somewhat limited, or students may even believe that they are not creative at all, or even encouraged to do so prior to coming to higher education. This aligns with the viewpoints of Bell Hooks and Palafria and John Holt, who wrote about unjust education systems. They talk about students who, prior to coming to higher education, for many years at primary and secondary school, have been told to think and believe that there is a right or wrong answer. Now, this can be problematic for students coming onto marketing programs who then have to go for a giant leap where they are told to think for themselves and to think outside the teachers' sayings. The module and the heteroglossia concept has taught me that my role as an active facilitator is very important to uncover this uncreativity and help guide them to establish this. Question 2. What principles, models, or approaches are particularly relevant to designing and facilitating student learning in your subject area? The concerns I addressed in the previous question to me relate to what is referred to as compassionate pedagogy. To me as a teacher, it is important for me to be aware of my students and make them aware that they are capable of developing creativity in different forms, and these are all equally important to me regardless of their marketing expertise or lack of. Therefore, co-creation and facilitation between tutors and students is essential. Now, one particular workshop that drew my attention to how I can further develop my module web pages was the FSL Workshop 6, Inclusive Assessment and Feedback. While I always made sure to provide a clear 12-week module web learning page, breaking down the weekly topics, I found that to accomplish compassionate pedagogy and co-creation, I needed to treat my module pages as more than just a summary page and apply more of a learner's journey orientation. We can easily assume that students, including master level students, are able to assume a self-regulated and independent approach to all modules that they have to learn. But as I said, I have students who do not have marketing background knowledge or experience, not to mention many of them have external pressures and responsibilities. Thus, expecting them to be psychologically ready for my particular module would be unfair to them. Every person's learning journey is also different, some needing collaborative community support to push or encourage and celebrate any form of creative thinking. It is therefore for that reason that as part of co-efforts, I've arranged my upcoming modules that invite students to conduct activities that emphasize free thinking, which becomes part of their class activities and enables them to connect theory and subject concepts that may not come naturally to them prior. Along with this, there will also be blogs to make clear what is expected from them in terms of engagement and how this will be beneficial to them. This will therefore set them on a pathway where they gradually take ownership of their knowledge and feel included and hopefully feel empowered in their learning journey. Question 3. When you design, plan, facilitate learning activities to help students engage with your subject material, what kinds of learning assessment tasks, including technologies, have you found to be effective or would like to adopt or adapt in future, and why? So I took various inspirations from my FSL tutors. I was inspired by mostly by Angela's 1993 concept that active learning is more effective than passive learning. Throughout this module, I felt that I was investing both mental and physical energies as the concept requires. I drew pictures, I chose songs that linked to different talk concepts, I developed vlogs, so I was really surprised to see how much I was still learning when completing these activities, which supports that the art of doing and making can make an equal effective difference. Just recently, I tasked my own students for a digital marketing module to show me their digital space, which is similar to the FSL's module team introduction task. And so far, I've seen several entries, two of which involve collages by a photographer and graphic design student. Another concept by Angela and Cross's 1993, which are activities with background knowledge probs. Now, with the digital space task, even that can be enough to get the students to think and understand how digital marketing works. Think about how it works for them and for customers. Or something like, what was the last email that a company or brand sent to you? What did it say and what did you do with it? How does that relate to today's concept? To me, this further connects with Angela and Cross's focused learning concept on identifying and connecting relevant aspects. I also found the jigsaw concept very crucial for my case studies and image evaluation tasks. Giving students different images or case studies with different contexts would allow them to think on various conclusions and would even prompt them to teach each other on what they have learned. So the idea of content, form and function outlines. So this integrates with the jigsaw concept. So I've made a couple of my written articles and some of my book chapters part of seminar case study and in-class discussion, so to enhance the relevancy between the material within the classroom for the students and their assessment. Question 4. What insights have you gained into how different students learn in relation to your subject area? So learning requires focused attention and awareness of the importance of what is to be learned. As I mentioned before, I get a lot of students from non-marketing programs, so being clear on each topic and how activities are related to each weekly topic and discussion and assessment section is essential. That includes making the objectives and goals of the assessment very clear to the students. And this can potentially complement the need for focused learning and the learning journey. One important aspect is learners need feedback on their learning early and often. So to learn well and to become independent, they need to learn how to give themselves feedback. When I was doing the FSL module, feedback was given throughout different stages, from within the discussion board to within the seminar classroom activities. And it was here that I was developing on my own an understanding on how to address each assessment task. So the pre-session seminar tasks that I am developing, these are there to provide feedback with a dialogue approach, and they can be adapted according to the student's output. Students see actual demonstrations of the concepts being taught being applied, which could inspire their assessment outputs and help them think critically on whether their output is connected to the assessment independently. Thus, I would be giving them continuous guidance, but without micromanaging their entire learner's journey. Finally, question 5. To what extent has FSL contributed to your successful engagement in continuing professional development with respect to learning, teaching, assessment, and related to professional practices? Now, the previous points I've explained on the questions, I believe feeds into the last question. I've learned both out loud and actively throughout the FSL module, using various techniques and receiving tutor responses throughout. To me, I found that practicing something that you have read or see can make a huge difference to your overall learning. This is a principle that FSL has brought to me that I aim to apply in connecting my module assessments within seminar activities and my virtual learning spaces. I feel more inspired to consider various alternatives to applying learning in the classroom, and I'm more aware of my active role as a facilitator to various types of learning, including the make and apply, as well as the see and describe, as shown in my appendices in my portfolio. I will continue to consider how we can make students new to the UK system and digital marketing have more of a positive experience and achieve the best from their studies. That's all from my vlog. Thank you for listening.